Hello, everyone. John Marshall, the DrillMaster. I've got an Army high school color guard to critique this morning. Well, actually, whenever you're watching. It's morning for me, though. Alrighty, let's see here. Don't know about the quality of the video. It looks like it's a bit pixelated, so might not be able to see absolutely everything, but we'll do our best here. Okay, here we go. Of course. All right, so here I have to ask, why did the commander call attention? And why is the commander calling the team to at close interval dress right dress? The command is fall in. When we fall in, what do? We come to attention and we get our dress, cover, interval, and distance. For a regular formation, for a colors formation, then we just get our close interval distance here. And anyway, so I really need to reconsider the commands there, Commander. Proper staffs, timing. The timing on that. Oh, sorry, I stopped it with your mouth completely open. I apologize for that. But alrighty, looks like you have Sam Browns. That's great. I like that. Although you're not wearing them properly. So we'll, excuse me, we'll go over that in just a sec. So, proper staffs, you have nice rifles. They look like Denix, actually. Denix replicas from, I think it's Spain. I have one, and I think they're garbage. But they look amazing. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. So, and you've everything. It looks uptight. That's great. Good job. All right, and we've got harness sockets at the same level. Again, the harness sockets that have the both of the straps attached at the bottom or I'm sorry, at the top and then at the side. I just can't stand those. They're not good. They don't. The physics about them just doesn't work well. All right, so let's get to the belts here. The Sam Brown, whether you're wearing a Sam Brown or you're wearing a web belt or you're wearing a ceremonial belt, the belt is supposed to be at the covering. Let's see who's there. Commander, you're wearing it properly. So covering the bottom button. It's supposed to be centered right over that bottom button there. This is too low. And this is a mix of, well, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's a little high. It's a little high. But also there's creases here in the belt. You need to blouse better. So blousing your blouse. Let me go over this. Everybody calls this almost everybody calls this the uniform jacket. It's not a jacket. It's actually a blouse. A jacket is something that you would wear outside to protect you from the rain or the cold, something like that. So, in order to blouse a blouse, what you would do is you have your blouse on, you have your belt in both hands, and your elbows down so that you're not lifting your blouse up. So you elbows down, shoulders down, you hold your blouse down like this, or you hold your belt down at the sides like this, ready to, let me hold my hands up higher so you can see them. So your hands are ready. Once the person behind you has got you tucked well enough, then you buckle your belt. So what you're doing is you're just waiting. Remember, shoulders down, elbows in, and you're getting bloused. And what the blousing is doing is, I'll use my shirt here. All right, so I have material at the side. Let me stand up. Okay, so I have material at the side of my shirt. And if I were to put a belt on, it would just get wrinkly and it wouldn't look good. So what I'm going to do if I'm the person behind, I'm going to stand behind the individual. I'm going to pull the material to the back. I'm going to pull, and I'm grabbing material at the sides, and I'm going to pull the material forward as well. So I'm pulling material from the front back and from the back front. I'm tucking it here and then folding it. Once it's folded, now I can secure my belt, and then your blouser then smooths out the wrinkles and so forth in your in anything that's left over in the blouse there, and then you don't have that look. It's so much cleaner. It looks so much better. All right, so everything seems to be in order. I know that it's usual for cadets to slam the staffs into the sockets there, and you're looking down. So you're not supposed to look down. You're at attention. You really should. I've got my staffs across my office. So what you should be doing is bringing the staff up like this, all right? And then you place your left hand on the harness socket so that as you bring the staff down, then your both hands, then you can feel where that comes. You can guide it in with your fingers if necessary, and then then you're ready to go. I don't appreciate the slam into the cups. I definitely don't think that looking down is the right thing to do. You're at attention. You don't look down. Now, guards with this nice flared elbow, stop it. Don't do that. That's not the technique. Not at all. You bring the rifle up, and your elbow is not flared. It's tucked, just right there. And you have the hand flared. Great hand flare for both of you, but the elbow flared out to the side, that's a salute. And the Army doesn't use that salute anymore, actually. So while it may look sharp to some, it's not the appropriate technique. So you should have a slight angle forward to the staffs. Whoa, holy cow, that was running. All right, so you can make wheels in 4 counts, obviously. 6 to 8 steps. 8 is probably better. 6 to 8, whichever you choose. But man, that was lightning fast. So let's go back and view that again. So march, you're starting on the right foot. So march is called on the left wheel, march, and then another step forward. Then you start the movement on that next left. 6 to 8 steps to turn. Okay, that's not too bad, but you can see that the left guard here takes a step over to the right. See how he steps over and then brings his feet together. So what you're not doing is dressing to the left. And it's easy. There's not a flag to be found, the flag material getting in your face and all that. So it's easy to dress left. The left guard needs to stay in place, and he's on a little mark, and he needs to not move on that mark except in a rotation. But he doesn't move away from the mark in any direction. The rest of the team is supposed to dress left as they boy, I'm sorry. And Commander, you're forcing your commands. So you're going color guard, halt. Well, actually it's colors for Army. So colors, halt. That sounds it's all up here. You're trying to create a certain sound. Don't. You're going to damage your vocal cords if you do this enough. And then when you get as old as me, then you're going to regret that completely. So, sorry. All right, that's better. So yes, you will regret it. Good. Okay, so we're good to go. All right. As you call commands, that it needs to come from your diaphragm muscle. Your diaphragm is contracting, pushing the air out and creating that volume and projection. That's what you want to have done to properly call commands. Now, when you do that, you are forcing your diaphragm to work for you. Your diaphragm's always working passively, but you're going to actively make it work for you. So, left wheel, harch. I'm trying not to blow out anybody's ears, but when you call nice and clear, then people understand you better. You don't sound like you're trying to create a certain sound. You're just calling the commands. Well, I said harch. You're going to say march. Army says march. You're going to call the commands properly, and have that inflection, that the tone, the projection. It's much easier. Plus, you're not going to have you might have a tired or even sore throat at the end of the day if you're calling commands for more than one sequence. So, not bad technique here going into this, not bad at all. However, and I don't know where schools get this from, but you're putting the rifle right in front of you like this. This not the thing to do. This is the technique on your hip bone. So your hip bone is right here. At the top of your hip bone is this, and you're wearing the Sam Brown belt. Where that belt is, that's where you put the rifle, on the hip bone, not in front of you, not on your stomach. But good simultaneous technique here. You've got the training that you've done. No, so the tap tap. Try to get rid of that. Try to get rid of that. That's go by counts and not signals. It takes a little more work, but the signals are going to kill you in a competition if the judges know what they're doing. All right, grabbing here, I know it makes it look better, but that's not the technique. You don't grab here and then bring the rifle over. The technique is actually to push your arm through and then come to sling arms. Nope, it's not a facing movement. It's a face in march. So what we don't do in the military is we don't make little tiny facing movements. That's what a lot of cadets are doing everywhere, and it's in all kinds of different. And stop doing these little facing movements. All of them. If you're off center from your judge and you're reporting, then all you're going to do is turn your head. If you need to, then you can turn your torso a little bit. But stop executing a little facing movement. Here, it's not a little facing movement. It's a face in march. Contrary to what the Air Force tells us, all of a face in march is a pivot only on the right foot's platform. Now, the right foot's platform is the ball of the foot, which would be here on my hand, and then everything forward. That's the platform. That's where you're going to pivot. You're going to take your left foot, kick it out to your left, and in this case, you're executing a half right face in march for the right guard, and then a half left face in march for the left guard. And once you do that, you pivot either direction, half, go out your 45, those 4 steps, halt, about face. So I get the hand flip. I understand why, because you're supposed to use your guide-on technique. And actually, some really don't understand that. So when it comes to Air Force performing this, they don't understand the guide-on technique that is out and then up, and it's a little more involved. Anyway, I suggest not switching the hands, because what you can do is bring the staff out and bring the left hand up. This is guide-on technique right here. This is raised guide-on. And then you go to present guide-on, and then you can slide. Here, let me get my pike pole. Then you can have the staff under your armpit, and then you can slide the staff in. Let me drop my elbow here. Slide the staff in so that you have more staff behind you, and you have better control than of the flag. The way, okay, this is way too. So is that present guide-on? It's not present guide-on, not even close. And you're lowering it to waist level, which is not appropriate. The staff needs to be underneath your armpit, not here and not at an angle. It needs to be flat, horizontal, completely horizontal. Oh, got the oh, that's a bummer. Got the string. Yeah. So what I could do is take a lot of time and explain exactly what the bearers are supposed to do. It would just take up a lot of time. So if you want to know, then send me a message. I'll make a private video for you. I'll just run outside real quick and make it, and then upload it for you so you can see the proper technique that really needs to be taken care of here. Fold, fold, holding the proper. Great. Guards, excellent job. Really nice. Good salute technique. Whoops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Grab and good. Good. So here, what you could have done back here, once you folded and then, and you can see how his face or his head is turned before he makes that facing movement. So, kind of jumping the gun there, just a little bit. So right there, when you bring your right hand to the sling and then your left hand down and you're holding the cases properly, that's awesome. Excellent job there. But you need to pull the rifle so that it's vertical again. And then you wouldn't have the butt sticking out like that. And you still hold that. So you still hold the sling, and you still pull so that the rifle is vertical. And look where our spades are here, just all over the place. Should be flat. I very much appreciate. I don't know the school, doesn't matter, but thank you so much for carrying your organizational color. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. I know AJROTCs are issued one organizational color, and if you use it consistently enough, it's going to get worn out. That's why I suggest that you save your organizational silk, just the flag, for for ceremonies and performances and competitions, and then you use a state flag or even just a practice flag, any kind of practice flag that's the same size. Same dimensions with the fringe and all that, and practice with that, and wear out another piece of cloth, and just use this for a little bit too big of a step there. I understand why you did it at the end, but oh, you're not. You are. All right. Not the method. So guards, you're doing an excellent job. I really appreciate that. Your timing is just impeccable on most of what you're doing. Really nice job. However, this is not what you're supposed to do. And I'm not going to try and zoom in and screw up the video. But right here, this is got my oh no, I don't. I have to pause. I moved my my box of things. Okay, guards. So you folded the cases perfectly, just about. Had the string hanging out, but still, you folded the cases really well, and then you unfold them. Why? So you're tucking into the belt, and then it's just kind of it just hangs over, and it looks terrible, honestly. But we're not necessarily going for what maybe looks the best all the time, although that is a consideration. That looks awful, and it's not part of what you're supposed to do. So in the belt, let's say that I'm wearing this, and this is tucked. This is my case. My pink cloth here is tucked in my belt behind me at my lower back. This is what it should look like. Well, actually, it should look a lot better than that. So it needs to be equal on both sides. There, that's a little better. Okay, and then it needs to, I'm looking at myself in my monitor here. All right, then it needs to be equal here, but it also needs to be equal at the top and the bottom, equal distance from the belt, so that it's centered on the back, and then it's also centered vertically as well, horizontally and vertically. And you didn't do that, so the bearers, that's a bad situation there. It doesn't look good. Reaching through, grasping the small of the stock, that's not a thing either. So, right, what you're going to do is, as you start to pull the rifle away, you can see here, I'm reaching here to grab in almost at the balance. Now, if you can grab at the balance, this is the balance, right above the upper receiver. If you can grab at the balance, by all means do so. And then you're going to grab the rifle, place it, and then do your thing with your sling. But grabbing that low, yeah, that's... And your signals again, then, that doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. That's more of an exhibition type of move. So, well, while you're reporting in, right guard, your left hand is way too high on the rifle. It should be a bit lower. So you both definitely need spade markers. So almost with that colors reverse, there's a lot to explain. So I'm going to put a link down below to my colors reverse briefing, and then a couple of colors reverse videos that I've recently posted. That's close. You've got the idea about it, but no, you're getting a little close as well. 3, 4, 5, 6. So you made it in 6, but you're still running. You're still running. The turn looks agitated, almost. Well, yeah, actually, it does. It looks agitated. It's not. There, that's better. It just doesn't look as smooth as it could. So. And maybe I should do a colors reverse or a wheel briefing as well. That'll come one day. So your tempo increases with wheels and colors reverse, and then you march forward at a slower tempo. And your tempo really needs to It's colors halt, not color guard halt. And don't slam your equipment either. Please don't slam on the. While you may think it sounds really cool, it's not. Not at all. And the flag in the background is displayed improperly. So with the closeness to the wall, it actually should be switched around so that it's facing, so that the when you look at it in the upper left, because it's so close to the wall. If it was in the middle, who cares? It's not in the middle of the room. Anyway, back to. So I was looking at your mark time. Okay. I was looking at your mark time. Feet are coming up just a tiny bit, which is good. You need to also check out my study on mark time. It drove me almost mad doing the intensive research in there. But what you want is the toe to leave last and the toe to strike first. And I was really hoping that whoever was operating the camera would walk around a little bit. They didn't. They were staying at the side, so I really couldn't tell if you were whole foot stomping, because I heard the sound of a type of whole foot stomp, and I'm not exactly sure if that was the case or not. So toe leaves last, toe strikes first, toe leaves last, toe strikes first. That is mark time. And you just let your ankle hang, or you let your ankle loose, let your foot hang then. Parade rest, don't slide your hand up the rifle. The rifle, or the hand stays at the position on the rifle where you hold it when you're at attention. So there's a little bone of contention about having the color guard commander come to attention and calling the formation to attention. When the commander is outside of the formation with a platoon or even a squad, a company, the commander comes to attention. Inside a formation, like a parade staff or for color guard, and then even for flag detail, it not only looks better, but it's probably, at least for the Air Force and Space Force, it is proper technique to not come to attention, to follow your own command of coming to attention, because you follow the rest of your commands, honestly. So what makes attention any different? It's interesting to think about, but there's nothing that says that the commander needs to come to attention. So I'm not going to say one way or the other, at least right now. I've got a little more research to do in that. So remember, you got to have a slight angle forward with the staffs. That was almost 8 steps. So practice with a metronome going. You've got to practice with a metronome going. I do appreciate the harness sockets being at the same level. That's just great. Arm swing on the guards is not the same. I noticed that earlier. So, let's go back to present arm here. Look where the rifle is. The rifle should be at port. When you bring the rifle out from right shoulder, you're bringing it to the port position, okay? So, you're here, you've got your arm parallel, you've got your 90-degree angle here, you've got your elbow tucked in, and you come out to port, but you don't leave your arm in that same position, because then the rifle is way too high. You drop it down so that you bring the rifle to port. All right? You're going to then slide your hand up, and come to present. But when you bring the rifle to the port position, remember, not high, you're going to extend that elbow. Here, let me do this. So from here, then I'm crouching down just a bit. You're going to come to port. See my arm extension. But as you come to port, you're going to come to that fist distance away from your torso as well. So an average man's fist is 4 inches. That's why we always say for a fist distance. It was developed that the standard would be 4 inches, and the easiest method to measure was just putting your fist there. So for the guards here, you're coming out too high and too far away from your torso. So you need to come to the port position, slide that hand up, and then come to present. And then the rifle is at the 4-inch distance, or should be at the 4-inch distance as well when at present. Yeah, lots to take care of with the colors reverse. Quite a bit. Well, see the arm swing difference there? Coming back, the left guard is barely coming back. He's almost coming back to attention. All right, that was a good fall out too. That was great. You didn't do anything specific. And that's fine. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. If you want to execute a right face, fine. Never about face. Never, ever, ever. All right. Color guards do not execute to the rear or about face. All right. So I hope this has been helpful. It's a little bit of a study into a color guard performance, and we're getting into these excuse me, these finer details that make up the color guard performance. It's like taking little tiny bricks of Lego and putting them together and then building a structure out of just the little tiny bits. And that structure then is whole and solid and has a good foundation to build other things on. And that's what we're trying to do here, is take those little tiny things, those little tiny Legos, and put them together. All right, so I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you very much for sending this in. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.